Hello.
Hi Jess, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It is an absolute honor to speak with you. I've
Oh
been
my gosh.
I've been a fan of yours since Idol, and whilst I've been to all three of your tours, I did miss out on
Oh,
your Oxford Art Factory show as I was overseas.
oh no. Well, you're not missing out anyway because there is down the track, obviously after the album is released, there is plan to head out on tour and obviously play the whole record, the whole new record. So yeah, that'll be coming soon, which I'm really excited about.
That is so exciting to hear. How were the shows?
You know what? Every single one of them. I had three of the shows. So Sydney, Oxford Art Factory. I had Brisbane, Woolly Mammoth, and I had Melbourne at the SD. And every single one of them were completely different, had a different crowd, and had a different feel. And I must say, I couldn't really pick exactly which one was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I think the amount of different fans that come from different backgrounds, really brought a different, celebration to every individual show that I had. But I must say, Sydney did go off. Melbourne was a whole nother level of just like soul and groove. And there was this sense of kind of like, I just felt like really warm in Melbourne, the warmth of it and the warmth of the community. I just felt like the whole crowd were my family, and that we were just catching up, and that made it really exciting. Brisbane was like that kind of country soul feel where people had to drive from their little towns to just come to the show. And that was really sweet. That really made it. There was a moment where I was like, going, who had to travel, from where did you travel from? And there were people that traveled from the Gold Coast,
So cool.
families and boyfriend and girlfriends that traveled. So that made it really, again, warm for me and made me feel like, wow, I'm meant to be doing this. This is so cool. I have some really cool fans, and I just can't wait to continue to do what I do and release music and be able to share and just engaging and reconnecting.
Do you have a preference between intimate shows or arena shows?
Oh, I do love intimate shows.
Yeah.
Intimate shows for me are very personal. I think, having that kind of close proximity distance, it just makes it feel more real, and it almost makes you feel a little bit naked, but also safe.
What I
that
really
makes sense.
what I really liked about your All the Hits live tour is that you still made it personal and close, even though it was in the arena.
And that's the thing. I think being able to infuse on a big scale, on a bigger venue, that meant so much to me as to being personal again and sharing those stories and sharing images. That to me, I needed to bring that element because that is me. And I love that you said that because that show meant a lot doing All the Hits live and just getting back to basics of really sharing.
And it seems I missed out on you premiering a few new songs live, which I saw online.
Yes.
How far along is the album for?
The album is pretty much finished, and that's the exciting part. The hard part is figuring out, what single is next.
Mm-hmm.
The hard part is track listing, and really putting them in the right form so that they tell a story as track by track.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm a very visual and detailed person, so having it look the way I want it to look is going to be, the hardest because there's color coding and, there are fonts involved and, there's all these little kind of things that you would think, oh, just do it. But there is a deep and major story, that I cannot wait to share, that makes the album come to life. And really, truly, that comes from a place of, women that came before me that are, that are allowing me to be the woman I am today, but also not just a woman, but a person. a human being, you know, that's part of language, that's a part of culture, that's a part of history, that is a living proof of today and doing what I get to do. So this record is going to be based off, you know, a bloodline. And I'm really excited to share these characters and personalities through the song and be able to visually, I guess, expose that. So it's not too long, but I'm hoping by the end of this year, I would love to have a whole record to be able to present and ready to go and continue to share more.
That's super exciting. And each of your albums have featured high-profile collaborations. You've had Flo Rida, Snoop Dogg, Pitbull. Is there any planned for this record?
You know, there has been collaborations in terms of producers who have worked with really, really big names. I mean, Paul Famous, who is a singer-songwriter and also you know, an acclaimed producer. And a Grammy Award winner. Like he was someone that came to Sydney and you know was here on for a holiday, but you know also made it as a work kind of holiday.
Okay.
He obviously was connected with my music and rang the label up and asked if, you know, if we could, you know, have some time in the studio. And he really wanted to write, and I guess that's what excited me the most, was that there were a few international writers that were in town that were here as part of their own business, but wanted to write and spend some time with me to write some music. And not only Paul Famous that wanted to write, but the Orphanage who produced the song Sunday. I mean, I love Demi Lovato, and they've worked with Demi Lovato. I love Kalani, who they've also worked with. And it just made me feel like, having listened to their music, I felt like I already knew them. So it was nice to already be connected on a music level already, and to have them kind of be really excited about hanging out in the studio and you know, starting from basics of getting to know each other, of you know where were you born, you know, how did you get into music, and then you know that's kind of just how the conversation started to begin the music process.
Great. And how would you compare this album to your last one?
I think it's deep rooted, and deep rooted in so many ways of, you know, really finally being able to express myself as a woman, as a wanting woman and needs.
So can we expect the sass of Go I Don't Need You and Heartbreak Party?
You know, I just kind of wanted to step away from like, you know, clubbing and, you know, four to the floor kind of stuff, and really kind of be quite soulful in the way that we can translate that, you know, with those added elements of feeling like you're in the club. You know, you could hear, you know, and taking it back to a bit of old school. So you hear Jagged Edge and it's like, let's get married. Well, Sunday's kind of like, you know,
has that
has those elements of like, you know, bringing that old mentality, but also something really that everybody knows. You know, our familiarness, and that was really important to me to kind of contain within the record, and being able to, you know, to have those moments of like a Maya or a Kandi or a, you know, or a Toni Braxton. You know, I mean, those women I really, really love, and I wanted to kind of add that spice, tongue in cheek, but also realness coming through, shining through, really.
It's cool you mentioned Kandi, because I love that song.
I know when you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. Even when you're out making love, don't think I'm not. When you're feeling good in somebody's spot, getting hot, don't stop. Just don't think I'm not, because I'm not getting none.
Oh my God. I'm like dancing at work right now. That was the best thing ever.
Woo! Yes!
So good. But you were talking about Sunday, the song, and it's very personal. You're talking about walking out and leaving.
Yeah.
What do you think has allowed you to be more open with your music?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like I wanted to kind of create songs of in the moment of things that I wouldn't have done in the past, but I would do now. And it's so funny. I think you do get, to a certain age or a point in your life, that has allowed, little bits and pieces of courage and strength and, words that you've exchanged with your friends that have allowed you to become that strength and become more confident and become become who you want to be and need to be to do what you need to do. And I think this record is definitely is plastered with those things. And whether it's sexuality, whether it is a disagreement that you've had or an argument or, that you've had with your friend or your partner or your parents or your dog, I don't know. They're just like kind of, a bit of sarcasm, a bit of kind of, a bit in your face and a bit kind of, by yourself. So there are so many moments and characters and personalities that I've been able to uncover in myself in the last 15 years of now giving my permission to do that. And I think everybody has a timeline that they are working on. And for me, at the age of 29, I'm finally on that path. I finally realized, my worth and how great my words are, and sticking to my guns and sticking to my instincts. And I think that's a really important thing to do. And I always have, but being public about it, I've never. There are things that I do care about, and that I do want to voice about, and that I do want to have a conversation and not be afraid to shy away from that. I think, I've now allowed myself and given myself a whole other voice, and it's a whole new meaning now, and it's in a clear light that I can see. I can see it now. So, writing this record are all of those things of growth, of being left behind, of being alone, and also celebration, finding the celebration through all these things, has made it even more greater.
That's awesome. And I've got a question from one of your biggest fans and one of my friends, Sunny.
Oh, nice.
You've released a song about Saturday night and now Sunday afternoon. When are you gonna sing about the Monday blues?
Monday blues. That's gonna be something. That's gonna become something. You know what? Now that's out in the open and it's been manifested, something greatly is coming from that. So, hold on to the reins.
I love it.
Definitely. Hold on, Suddy. Hold on to that one.
But you did.
You're just a blues brother. Not what I want. You're just a blues brother. Play on.
This is by far my best day at work ever. I love getting to hear you sing.
Thank you, Brad.
But you did release the film clip for Sunday last week, and it is beautiful. My favourite scene is at the staircase. Where was it all filmed?
So this magical music video was happily filmed in a place called Broken Hill in New South Wales.
Great.
So it's south of New South. It's the south, and it's close to the border. It's right in the corner there, border of South Australia and Victoria. Victoria. So it's an L shape, and right in that L shape there's Broken Hill, as well as another place called Silverton. And I believe that's where the staircase is actually where, that hotel, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, was filmed there. Yeah.
There you go.
So that's what made it even more special, because I'm like, well, it's so iconic, it's one of those, it's so iconic that I can't even bear it. And that's the kind of feeling that I had, in the sense that, I had dreamt of this place, and I had even searched images, and I had studied, and I had figured out, how a crew of 50 plus were going to get there. I had things already planned out, and I put this portfolio together, knowing that that's what I was going to do. My story, I was going to be able to project and visually tell in this magical place. These planes that went forever. It was these planes are called Mundi Mundi, and it was like, it felt like spirits were like walking around me, and you would get this sense of like, your hairs would stand up in this place, and it felt like freedom. It felt like a place where there is hope. Everything's quite peaceful, and the quiet is so noisy. So really kind of bringing Sunday to this joyous, kind of eerie, mystical place was pure joy. I knew straight away, instantly, that it was going to be one of the best things I've ever done. And I've gone with my gut, because there were a lot of people within the team that were a little bit half-hearted about traveling to this place, and whether or not it was going to be worth it. And so there was a lot of doubt there within certain people, and I really, really trusted my mind and my gut, and that's all I wanted. I wanted this kind of earthiness to come through, the sense of spirit, the sense of belonging, but also this sadness where you could just scatter around in this place, but it be eaten up by joy, and it was exactly that. And when I think about it, I just kind of go, yes, you did it, Jess. Like, good on you. I'm so proud of you. And just keep on that momentum, keep on that rhythm, because you're on the right path. And I'm more so joyous because of the reaction that I've been getting from fans that have been there from the beginning, fans that I've seen the transformation, the kind of just journey that has been going for so long. And it's been so nice to see the words come to life, being typed on socials, and people replaying the song, and reposting and tagging. It's just bringing so much wonderful joy, and that's what I really wanted to create, was that this celebration of having been there, been beside each other for so long and still going strong. I wanted that feel.
And your two films, Brand New Day and Sapphire, seem like the most beautiful celebration of the Indigenous community.
Yes.
Do you have any plans to act again soon?
Look, I really loved being a part of those films, and they were such special moments in my life, and at the time, the opportunities were just like grand. It just felt like, when you hear and you see the news about Hollywood, like that to me was Hollywood, and I would love to do something like it again, and maybe something a little bit more, because we have a lot of humor, and we are so funny. Our culture is, the way we talk. I mean, there's so many different ways and twangs to the way we sound, and even that, body language even, but culturally are so diverse, and but we just have this great, grand, celebrated humor that really attracts the world. And I would love to do something quite big, another film, in that sense that it has that comedy, it has that Australian feel, it has that spirit. It has all those kind of beautiful shades of color, that's something I really look forward to, and I'm sure there's an opportunity out there. It's just waiting to be to be kind of to grow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And you have proudly waved the flag for Australia twice at Eurovision. I really thought We Got Love would win last year. Why do you think it didn't perform as well?
It's so funny, because my gut instinct, again, going with just what I knew was going to be so joyous, was that song, and writing that song with DNA in Sydney. David and Anthony was such a dream because we, having experienced what Eurovision was like in 2014 and doing the tour there, it really took me back to I needed something that spoke, that connected with the people. That I need the song to be the people. I need the song to be the people. And
it was that for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And I definitely felt that. I know politically there was so much involved, and the fact that people were just still stunned that Australia is involved, but somehow we have the spirit that they do. We have the talent that they do. And you just can't deny, everyone wants to be a part of Eurovision, and it just so happens to be that, we are the closest to, to definitely being a part of it. And, it's just going to get bigger and better, and, eventually, people are not going to be so stunned about Australia being a part of it.
Definitely.
Kate Miller-Heidke, she's just phenomenal, and I cannot wait to be in my lounge room with friends and family, watching, eating popcorn and drinking Coke, and and just enjoying it, because I know how scary and how brave you have to be on that podium. It's such a scary feeling because you legit have the whole globe or the whole world watching you, and it's definitely it's one of the greatest, but also scariest moments.
And you have so many hits in Australia. I believe Sunday's your 25th. Would you ever consider releasing an album of hits to launch overseas?
Oh, I would love to. That would be a dream. I would love to, whether it's recreating or whether it's just how the songs the way that they sound, that they are. I would love to. That's definitely something that would love to do or create. Now that you said that.
With Spotify, it seems Australian artists aren't doing as well on the charts anymore. So Fallen was voted auspOp's favourite song in 2017, and it hit number 1 on iTunes, but it only peaked at number 11 on ARIA charts. Does this affect you as an artist?
I'm sure it does affect a lot of Australian artists. We have a very small industry and growing, and we also have, a very small handful of, incredible artists that are, that are just trying here in this country. And, it's a hard job. It's definitely hard, but, I think if you really love it and you're in it because you really love it, then you don't really have to worry. I think for me, writing music and being able to express and then going out to different communities and supporting young girls and young boys, that's definitely going to be a thing in the future that I cannot wait to be a lot more closer with. But yeah, my dream is to continue to be able to make music. I've never really gone in it to go. I want to be up there. At the Grammys or on the stage. I've never really thought of it that way. And I've always just enjoyed the process of making music and having someone connect to it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I've really appreciated it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for having me.
And I would love to do a filmed interview with you one day.
Yeah, definitely. It has to be like a personal one-on-one. I really love that very much. Yeah, definitely one day I'm going to have to get the team to set that up for sure.
Thank you so much.
We're going to have a sing-along. It could be like an interview sing-along kind of thing, you know. We actually get it in a space where there's a karaoke kind of thing happening, and we have food, and we're just enjoying.
I'm so down for that. So down for that. Hope you have a great day, Jess.